Right. Uh, I think I got it working now. So yeah, uh, you see me running a PVE site casually, and today we're going to be talking about me reaching the limit, alpha limit, 5 million SP in about 12 hours, I would say. Not taking in account the free skill points you get daily from the opportunity section, I would say, or like achievements. I don't know exactly the name of it. Forgive me, because that's something I use daily, and that's really easy to reach those free things. And I noticed that just by using your arrow marks to complete certain ones that you don't like to do, or uh, will be hard for you comparing to your skills or whatever, you always hit the 3, which will give you every day 10,000 skill points at least. And at certain milestones you will get, like I was this morning, I was totaling 175k free skill points. Um, yeah, on top of that, um, we made some new ISK after we lost our Gila a couple of days ago. I lost a Gila because I had a kill right for 10 million. I wasn't aware, and the dude that really knew what he was doing hunted me down and blapped me with what was it, 4 coercers and a Stormbringer. And but I got kill marks on him, so I'm trying to actually play a little hide and seek with this dude. And yeah, and in doing that, I'm trying to figure out how does that work, because it's pretty interesting. Like there must be more people that are flying around with a kill mark with ISK on it, thinking that nobody will pay the ISK or is aware, let alone somebody that specializes in something like that. And this guy obviously had specialized in that because of the system I was in and the amount of characters he used. I was immediately like convinced, okay, yeah, this guy hunts people with kill rights and stuff like that. He's obviously also a ganker and probably does stuff like that as well. And yeah, as a former ganker, I say ganker, I interested in that, riches to be had and all that. And I remember a certain kill mill. I will link in the video description of me blapping a poor sigil that was carrying an Aeon BPO. And I remember at the time my friends were trolling me because I got this ridiculous amount of bounty, and I was like the second most wanted person in all of EVE, and everybody was calling me and blah blah blah. I was totally like, yeah, newbie at the time in that field, and on top of that, the loot fairy said no, and it was fully researched. I heard later that blueprint, so imagine how much it was worth today. But yeah, this fella, I don't think he ever played again, so yeah. But we had lols. Yeah. And I did make some money. 3 accounts, 1 cargo scanning, fit scanning, 1 cloaked hauler at a perch on the gate, and 1 NATO off grid. Aligned through the gate at blapping range. Tech 1 Arties, full damage application and tracking computers. Sometimes I would go for just high value cargo, and there were also days that I was just try and blab covert, Tech 2 hollers, covert ones. If I could target them in time and blab them, you could get very lucky. But that's a gamble because they might be full, they might be empty, right? So yeah, but let's move on. Here we are. What I'm doing here is, as an alpha pilot, you can also use the remap system. Now, all skill fields have a certain attribute or two attributes to them, and it starts with, for example, willpower, and then secondly, perception, as an example. And what that does is you put all your points in the first and the second, it will greatly increase your training time in those fields. And what I go for in my remaps is all the skills that are basically, I call them support skills, that are the foundation of every character, right? I'm talking about shield, armor, targeting, navigation, drones, scanning, for example, is one also part of, and there's memory perception is what I'm going for. Why? Because you can use that remap for the longest amount of time because of how many skills are part of that group, and then secondly, you can expand into that. If you, for example, one of your tunes it's going to be a dreadnought alt, you can start as well training like your capital armor skills and your capital shield skills and all that jazz. And for example, the weapon and missile, like gunnery, missile, and spaceship command, they fall under a different remap. And then when you're done with the foundations, and that's gonna take a hell of a lot of time, like, don't get me wrong. And I'm choosing that route because I'm going to focus on making my money in the industry and building and trading in high sec. So I don't really have the need, besides being able to fly the Gila on most of my characters. Besides that, I don't really have a need for anything more powerful yet. So what do? I work on my drone skills, and the rest is automatically included. So I inject the money I would spend on Omega through Flex and then buying injectors on the market. And the rest of what's left over I'll save, and that way we will get 5 million SP on all slots on all my accounts as quick as possible. And at the end of the journey, so when I have 5 accounts with all 3 accounts trained to the 5 million mark, that's when I will Omega all accounts, and that's when the real money starts coming in, because then we will start multi-boxing. So imagine 5 Gilas doing PvE sites, right? So I will probably go look for wormholes and find a nullsec that is really quiet, be stealthy with it and move my Gilas into the nullsec, and start rattling there. And maybe PvP fit 1 or 2 of the Gilas, so if the odd solo dude or maybe small gang even comes in, I can take out their bubble fast and their interceptor with the scram and the rapid lights, and we can do some big damage, right, if we get hassled. And if the inhabitants come, chase me off if I get spotted. But I play in a time zone that's easily avoided most of the traffic, because it's Australian time zone, which is the most quiet in the game, like before and after downtime mainly, right? So back to industry, right? And we did remap talk about remap, important for alpha characters because it increases your training time. So you get not the full omega experience in training time in boost, but you will get a boost to training time. Um, I have made a little bit of money, enough to buy a fully researched venture BPO. Why am I buying a BPO? That's fully research of a venture. Well, think of this: ventures are lost a lot in ETH, and a lot of new players need ventures. I need ventures myself um, for gas mining in wormholes, which is very profitable. And I come across a lot of suitable wormholes in my adventures, in my worm, for example. So I decide here to yeah, buy a venture BPO for 48 million ISK, and it will take considerable amount of time before that will pay off. But what I will do is I will make copies, distribute these copies among my alt, and as on top of that we will invest the rest of my capital into buying all the minerals for the ventures and the other BPOs I have. And at the same time I'm also researching my own BPOs that I bought myself without research. I decided to not research anything on time, on module BPOs, only on required materials. So yeah, um, like every account that I log into at the moment has a passive income like every day around 20 million ISK. So we're doing pretty good already. And I'm not focusing my trade in Jita at all. I'm basically building it in certain hubs, and then everything that's not a ship, I am transporting, yeah, basically in random loads or high techs, and you'll be amazed in, yeah, where it all gets bought. You know, I often find myself thinking like, how are these people, like, why are they buying this and in this place? And it all has to do with convenience. Like a lot of people in ETH, they have more than enough money, and I know this because I have the habit myself. If I have enough ISK and I need something, I want it right away. So I look up where is the closest, and often you find what you need right in the system you're in, and you often pay a little premium price, and that's where the magic begins, right? And yeah, that's really gratifying for me at the moment. Um, so um, yeah, I never expected it, you know. Like it's kind of funny because I'm really a PvPer at heart, and I still am. But like this is a kind of a special thing for me. Like it's this very conscious choice that I made, that I want to do it the way that most people have done it, and without shortcuts. And I used shortcuts in the sense of trading characters and then buying better ones, and I went that route, you know, the quick, easy route. Uh, I found that ultimately that is the less gratifying route, and not in the least amount. So creating your own characters and training them, and creating your own empire, your own wealth, your own independence on the ISK front. Don't underestimate how much value that holds, you know. And you see all these flashy PvP videos, and it's very tempting and attractive. And of course, it's great if you can do that all day, but not many ETH players can do that all day. And on top of that, if you want to become really good at it, you also have to be, uh, yeah, consistent, you know. You gotta practice a lot. You gotta find people that have the same style, that like what you like to fly, and you know, that works well together in the current meta and all sorts of things. You know, it's not all that easy, and that comes down to the same old thing that everybody says about ETH, that most people love it or hate it, and if you love it, you will find a world that is endless in possibilities and twists and turns, and yeah, you know, there's always somebody that you end up talking to, and you know, it surprises you with a little bit of knowledge, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's always been the only MMO for me. After I was again experiencing drought after a World of Warcraft expansion and finding ETH, I don't even remember World of Warcraft, if you will. So that's how I'm gonna end this video. This is a voiceover, by the way, of the original video I recorded, because I don't do scripted or that sort of stuff. Like, I literally do it from the wrist. That's how I like to do it. So that said, I read it a repost, and they're saying bye bye guys. I hope you like it. Leave a sub and a like if you enjoy it, and hope to see you soon.